welcome on into this Monday's edition of Entertainment News here at MBE.
Might I not unpaused that or unmuted that quite in time there, Stephen? I think we'll be cut off.
I think we will.
For the podcast, let's just... Right, this is it.
For the sake of the podcast.
Right, we'll do... Let's do it again. Unmuted the animation in the corner, guys, because that's what I do.
Hello and welcome on into this Monday's edition of Entertainment News here at MBE. We'd just like to thank you once again for joining us here on our YouTube channel and of course our Twitch stream. And for all you podcast listeners, thank you very much for subscribing, hopefully, to our new podcast. This is probably episode 2. I'm not going to keep that up every time though, because I will forget. Yeah. So, yeah, on Spotify, folks. The link will be in the description very, very shortly. But, yeah, I'm Stephen John McLaughlin, one of your co-hosts, and our other co-host is John Christopher Walsh. And
sometimes referred to in my past as Cecil.
Cecil. Cecil be demented. John. Interesting topics we're talking about tonight, obviously.
Yes.
I mean, obviously we're going to be talking about Blue Beetle, which I know you've touched on over the past few weeks as well, the lack of promotion, etc. I know there's obviously been a strike and stuff like that, and obviously the Barbie, which was sitting at top spot, which we'll get into. And then one of our all-time favourite comedic actors, Adam Sandler, obviously back on Netflix with his new release. But before that, we're going to talk about Queen. We're going to talk about their latest, greatest hits collection.
Is this without Freddie? This
is without Fat Bottom Girls, which in a way is without Freddie because it was written for him. John, controversy erupts as Queen's latest greatest hits collection excludes Fat Bottom Girls. Critics decry widespread woke influence. Now, John...
Stay woke. That wasn't about wokeism, incidentally.
Talk about Queen's new greatest hits collection, we will in a moment. Now, let's go back to their original greatest hits, the black cover one with the 4 faces on it.
Yes.
I bought that in 1992 in the height of Wayne's World. Everyone was into Bohemian Rhapsody back in 1992. The song had already been out for a good 20 years before that. Maybe not, maybe 16 years before that or something. I can't remember. Late 70s. Wayne's World propelled it once more into the mainstream and everyone was out buying the greatest hits. I was one of them. CD. Now, it's a good collection. Not perfect. And I have to say, Fat Bottom Girls was not one of the ones that I would stay. You talked about Maxwell Silver Hammer last week on Abbey Road, John. It was the one you always skipped. This is the one I skipped on greatest hits.
Bang, bang, Maxwell Silver Hammer came down upon your head. That's the version I prefer.
Yeah.
It's John Lennon taking the piss out of it.
I don't know if there's any piss-taking outtakes of this song at all, John, but...
do you think Queen were that kind of band, Stephen?
I don't know, very serious at times.
Yeah, I think with Brian May in there, you're going to struggle to get laughs.
Now, I always get mixed up, I've got to be honest. I always get mixed up between Fat Bottom Girls and Bicycle, the Bicycle song, because they reference Fat Bottom Girls in it.
Bicycle, I want to ride my bicycle.
So I had to think really hard, how does Fat Bottom Girls go again? Because I skipped it that much, I just forgot what it sounded like. It's not good, is it? It's not
the actual
good.
guitar instrumental, but it's brilliant. It's like
musically, John, yeah. Maxwell Silverhammer has got some good musical moments in it as well. It's just overall pish.
I would rate Fat Bottom Girls above Maxwell Silverhammer.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't. I fucking bin the two of them. Get them to fuck.
But is it right though, Stephen, that they are seemingly?
You like that?
Yeah, that's Stephen. I says had a panini and fries earlier. I think I've scraped the back of my throat. I was walking the dog and I was like Darth Vader at the end of Return of the Jedi. I was like talking to the dog and it's like, fucking hell, I'm actually having to draw a breath mid-conversation with the dog, who's not speaking back to me, by the way. He's not a talking dog. He's not that kind of dog. I was concerned about how this show was going to go, but it seems like I've rebounded. That protein shake has just hit the right spot and I'm back with a bang. But Steve, do you think it's right that we've got, I presume is it Sony? Who is it that's involved in this? They named the studio.
I can't remember, John. Can't remember.
Is it right that they are omitting this song because of its lyrical content?
Yeah, I mean, it says an insider told the Mail on Sunday there, doesn't it?
Yes.
Obviously,
I'll move out of the way.
what's going on. It is the talk of the music industry. Nobody
Universal Records
can work it out why such a good-natured fun song can be acceptable. Can't be acceptable in today's society. It's what gone mad. Why not appreciate people for all shapes and sizes like society is saying? We should, rather than get rid of it. It's outrageous. Maybe probably the fact that they say fat. Maybe that's it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, yes.
There is other words you can use, but they don't rhyme.
Tubby
And they don't really. You know, I think
they have got fat bottoms.
Yeah,
that's what they're singing about. Look at the thumbnail. That was the original artwork. Actually caused outrage as well, Stephen, because I think the woman in question riding the bike was completely in the scud, as we like to say here, in the nude. And then obviously record shops back in the 70s, I believe, 78 it was, 81, sorry, refused to stock it.
All right, okay.
So they had to put a pair of
So you're looking at that album and you're like going, oh, look, I see they've got the Daily Mail in there.
Yep.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, I can imagine there was a lot of controversy surrounding, what was it, Two Virgins?
Yeah.
When that released back in the day. And of course, Stephen, the Beatles were fraught with controversy back in the day. They had but obviously what was the single they released where it was the Butchers and it was the little baby dogs?
Yesterday and Today, yeah.
And
it was a US release, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a strange
with butcher
idea.
Meat and shit like that all over them.
Butcher overalls on and dolls and shit going on,
So
weird.
The Beatles they had a weird streak as well.
John, it does say that Brian May, who did write the song, I know you've got Freddie throwing them under the bus on the thumbnail.
He wrote it for Freddie.
Yeah, he said I wrote
Freddie
it with Fred in mind, as you do, especially if you've got a great singer who likes fat bottom girls or boys. So, John...
well, I mean, he knew the man, so I'm going to bout his
exactly.
superior knowledge of Frederick.
I'll be honest with you, update version features the same image with knickers drawn over the women cycling.
Knickers?
I'll be honest with you, John, I just think... gives a shit, really. You know what I mean? If it's on it or not, I don't really care. Why are we talking about this?
I think it's Steve that it strikes back at the heart of modern day society. And look, I'm not averse to championing people from minority communities. Quite the contrary, I think they should be championed. I think we should see a broad insight into the world. Yeah, I mean, I can go to John Wide. You'll see this behind us. This is the real setup, by the way. It's a single camera. The battery died in the DSLR we've got. We never replaced it.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't look great, does it? It looks better when you zoom it up a bit. It looks, it looks cleaner.
No, it looks like we're in different rooms as well, which we're going to have to use to pretty soon.
Shortly, And
I'm not getting me mic'd up, so...
Oh, Stephen, you can do something. Oh, we can get a focus right for you, man. You can take that mic. Don't worry about it. It's no good to me, Stephen. If I've got fucking 2 mics, I can only use one.
Yeah.
But Stephen, no sexist, no racist, no fascist. So I want to just, again, emphasise that I know you share those views, Stephen. I'm not going to throw you under the bus and say, can't speak for you, Stephen. You're clearly a right-wing fucking teetotalitarian, tyrant, terrorist. But Stephen, it's not something we are all for, this wokeism. Little snowflakes, that's not something
John,
I'm about.
Does it really matter? Do you know what I mean? It's not life-changing if they keep it on or if they take it off. I think people are just taking things too serious these days. It was written at a time that it was acceptable, and that's where it's captured in time. You know, it's just one of these things that you can't rewrite history, it's especially like mediums. You can't rewrite
Fairy Tale
songs.
of New York.
You can't. Yeah, I know.
Come on.
They do that every Christmas on the radio. They cut that line out, but
it's ridiculous. It was wrote 40 years ago.
And Disney have went through all their archives as well, and they're clipping bits here and clipping bits there. Yeah, I get in time, John, people won't really think about it because it won't exist. But it's kind of what would you call it? It's a bit propaganda-ish if you do that. You know?
It's just whitewashing. The history.
You know, I think you start
what's and all
rewriting history and burning books and all that. You're borderline Nazi. You're borderline Nazi.
Stephen, that's exactly what the Nazis did.
Yeah,
they wanted to exert control on culture. Well, no culture because they weren't cultured. They were the most uncultured, backward fuckers to ever walk the earth. Burning books, artwork, throwing out artistic people of different ethnic persuasions. Is that even a thing? I don't know. Are you persuaded to be a different ethnic background? I don't think you are. You know what I mean, though? They just were all for the Aryan, which is technically Iranian, incidentally.
And get back to the band, John, as well. Queen were at the forefront of controversy themselves, as you mentioned, like the Beatles, John. You know, I Want to Break Free. You know, just what was the one? Was that the one that did the hoovering?
That was the one where they all dressed in sort of
dressed as ladies.
I was about to say something there, but I don't know if that's appropriate in today's society. Which kind of strikes home at what we're talking about.
With the feather slippers and stuff like that on.
It was a great video, Stephen.
Fantastic.
It was sort of a
but they weren't afraid to push the boundaries.
I always think that shaped. I mean, I know for a fact Taylor Hawkins of Foo Fighter fame, huge fan of Queen, sung a lot of Queen tunes at the gigs. I mean, he'd done it when I went to see them. I always think that shaped bands like the Foo Fighters to go and be a little bit eccentric and do something different with their videos. The likes of the Beastie Boys, just shake it up, do something that's a little bit different, a bit out there with the videos. So they were trailblazing in that regard. And Steve, I'm with you, it's a storm in a teacup. It's bollocks. If they don't want to include it on the actual greatest hits, it's not for me one of Queen's greatest songs.
No.
I'm not going to lie. There's far better songs out there, Killer Queen.
But they should be allowed to put what they think is great to them on.
They should. And if there has been sort of forces exerting their influence on the band, Brian May, because let's be honest, he is the band now. Freddie's away.
Roger as well.
To be fair, I'm being harsh. We're all pretty fucking good, weren't they? Let's be honest. If they're exerting sort of pressure onto the band to drop this because of the name of the song and because of the lyrical content, then it's absolute bullshit. Let's be honest. I'm not for cancel culture, Stephen. I spoke about this at length on the channel before. Likes of the idiots going after Chris Pratt because he's more right-wing conservative in his political views and a Christian that goes to church.
Wow.
That's his choice as a human being.
Yeah.
If he wants to do that, if that's what he believes in politically, guess what? He's free to do it.
Yeah.
And we cannot live in a culture, a society where it's an echo chamber and anyone with a dissent and different voice gets ignored or shunned from society.
Call that? A dictatorship.
A dictatorship.
Yeah.
You learn from people who espouse different views to you.
Yep.
By having discourse, you can learn something from that person. You may fundamentally disagree with 99% of what they're saying, but there may be 1% where you agree, and that creates a sort of discord, and we can become better, more rounded people for it. It's the same with this, Stephen. Modern day society, let's be honest, they have got a fucking problem. We've put modern day standards on things that happened 30, 40 years ago. We've seen it with Friends. We spoke about Joey before we come on. He's a creep. What's he doing? No, he's a red-blooded male. That's the way 99% of males act. Now,
Ross was a homophobe.
He was a homophobe
for denying he was gay, like quite in a few episodes. Who cares? Who cares?
I did put the caveat in that you can't be touchy-feely. You can't be a fucking creep. There is lines, there's boundaries in life. But most guys out there are attracted to females, and that's the way that they acted. Do try to, like woo women. That's what Joey kind of represented back in the 1990s. It wasn't that long ago, but even then it is 30 years ago. You can't put today's
30 years,
standards on something that was 30 years ago. We spoke about Only Fools and Horses. You can't put today's standards on something that was 40 years ago.
There's a lot of references that have been cut out of Fools and Horses as well.
John Lennon, Stephen.
Little references.
The way he was acting back in the day, young 20-something guy, unbelievable stardom found, pressures of it getting to him. He acted out in certain ways on the stage. Was it acceptable for today's society? Absolutely not.
Of course not.
But it's 50, 60 years ago.
Yeah. Obviously he's not doing it just now, but if he was here and he was still doing it, he'd be going, come on, fucking change your tune.
Exactly. But he grew as an individual, and even in the late 70s, he would have looked back at that and cringed. I'm absolutely certain.
Of course.
But Stephen, man, what point I'm getting at is society, modern day society, has to fucking get a grip of itself. It really does. And stop trying to whitewash everything out of existence that they disagree with. These things happened. They exist. The Pogues fairy tale of New York exists, including that line. I don't think there's anything wrong with that line. It's not acceptable in modern day society. I've certainly never used the line myself, but back then it was different.
Did Mika not do a song that was along the same lines?
Might have done. He might have done, Stephen. I don't know.
You're only talking to me about 15 years ago. It's not that long ago. I can't remember what the song was called.
It's just,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but the point is that they're trying to impose modern day standards on historical content.
Yeah.
And it's just not acceptable. Fuck's sake, Freddie, let's be honest, we all know Freddie's background, Stephen. He was a very vivacious guy. He was out there. He was bisexual. He was fucking loving life and doing it his way. I don't think he was taking great offence 30, 40 years ago about Brian May writing a song called Fat Bottom Girls. So why the fuck are people now taking offence to it? It's really strange.
Yeah.
Bizarre. And ultimately, like you, I don't really care.
No. And people say, well, why are you talking about it then? Because it's news.
Because it's news.
Yeah, it's music news as well.
Much like you, Stephen, I've got the other greatest hits and I listen to that.
Yeah, John.
And it has got Fat Bottom Girls.
I do remember the Greatest Hits 2 came out. I can't remember
It's the
what
black
year
one
it was.
with the sort of cut.
It was a black one. I think it was from 1981, the original Greatest Hits, John. But they brought out a third one as well. So there has been other variations of the Greatest Hits that have come out. And you're going back to 1981 when that Greatest Hits came out. Now, the actual song would have come out prior to 1981, obviously, for it to be on a Greatest Hits. So you're talking late 70s, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I did bring up, there's a Greatest Hits there. There's a sort of track listing. Now I'm here, play the game. Bohemian Rhapsody, 7 Seas of Riot. It's actually one of my favourite Queen songs.
Yeah, it was the first one, yeah.
7 Seas of Riot, it's just brilliant. The vibes of it, the actual instrumental stuff, the singing. Somebody
I like good old-fashioned Loverboy.
Yeah,
I thought it was great.
For me, Stephen, my favourite Queen song though is probably Somebody to Love. It's just the vocals of Freddie at the start. The video was great as well. The harmonies are always something I think of when I think of Queen.
Yeah.
But there's so many other songs that are not on this, Stephen. Just little album tunes that the likes of Justin Hawkins would bring to your attention because he's a huge Queen fan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
An unbelievably diverse band. They were doing so many different things, dabbling with genres. Brilliant British band. Stands the test of time, really. So you can take Fat Bottom Girls out and replace it with 20, 30 other songs that are every bit as good.
I Want to Break Free.
What, Break Free's not even on there, yeah?
That was out before, obviously, that came out. So, yeah, I mean, John, you're absolutely right.
Don't
you know, and I think,
well.
I mean, a good band. You know, my daughter's into them at the moment.
Bohemian Rhapsody's my favourite.
Again, John, Bohemian Rhapsody was the reason I bought the album because I didn't really know Queen's actual albums and stuff like that. I wasn't that committed, so I just went, I'll get the Greatest Hits because it's on it.
We used to sit during like intervals, like breaks, spare. What would you call it? Spare classes.
Yeah.
There's a name for it. I can't think of it just now. You'd get a break to study. We'd sit around a table in the canteen in school and free period.
Yeah.
And we'd actually all do lines from Bohemian Rhapsody until we got to the end. That was something we used to do. Used to sing along and build it up.
Yeah.
So fantastic. I don't know if we were fucking weird or what, but that's what we used to do. I'm not that old, by the way, I have to stress.
No. John, that's the thing about Queen. They are one of those bands that spans all generations. My daughter, as I said, is into them at the moment. She likes them. She can rhyme off some of their tunes at the moment. And you've got to remember, Freddie's been away now 32 years.
Yeah, 93, 94, wasn't it?
91, he passed away, yeah. I was still in school at the time. Absolutely shocking. And I mean, he'll never be forgotten, and the band will never be forgotten, John. It's a strange move if we want to go. Why they're releasing another Greatest Hits? It's for another generation, I would suppose. But I think they did a box set of Greatest Hits 1, 2, and 3. I would just remaster them and put them out.
What Giles is doing with the Beetle stuff.
Yeah. I don't know what the purpose of another one is. I mean,
I just hope they're not getting back and remastering this, or doing alternate versions, because I know they bring in different guys. I think it was Adam Levine. Am I right in saying?
Yeah.
And then I think they've had maybe Justin Hawkins actually falling in for live gigs.
Yeah, they've had a few people.
I hope they're not doing alternate versions without Freddie Mercury, because that's sacrilege.
Nah, I mean, that's okay for the live thing,
right.
You know, just to see the sort of performance of the musicians and stuff. I can accept that. But when it comes to
Queen, Steve?
No, I don't think so. No,
You're not going to see them?
No, definitely not.
You're not a fan of Brian? I think he is a bit of a twat at times. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to.
Johnny's a fantastic musician. He is a fantastic musician. They all are. You know, Roger's drumming was fantastic. John Deacon's bass playing was iconic. He's an incredible
guitarist. I love his guitar. It's unbelievable.
You know, and obviously another one, Bites the Dust, is the one that John Deacon came up with the riff, obviously, for. But I think John just, you know, I think we're at the stage now where they should just leave things be, to be honest with you. I'm not really concerned if they put it on or they don't put it on. The Greatest Hits 1981 version's out there anyway. So what is it you're trying to achieve?
What was the song that had She Keeps Them Away Shandon?
That's Killer Queen, yeah.
Yeah. Got me drinking Moe Shandon. Freddie.
Yeah, it's a good song. I mean, you're talking 3-minute songs on average, aren't they?
This is what we need to get back to, really.
Yeah.
we're in a Beatles group, I seen someone commenting, I think it was Hard Day's Night, and they were saying, I feel like a little bit embarrassed to admit this is my favourite Beatles album
Yeah,
or record.
Yeah. I said, don't be embarrassed.
No, but you're right, Stephen, because there was something magic about the early days of the Beatles, much like the Queen greatest hits. They were very punchy, short songs.
Yeah.
They didn't overstay their welcome. Infinitely listenable.
Yeah.
You can listen to them again and again. And even the Beatles, as they got to the end, I mean, there's some songs that I can't bear. I'm not denying they're incredible songs, and they're all Macca ones. I'm going to come right out and say it. Long Winding Road. Let It Be. They're just going too long.
I mean, they're not
They're
bad
too fucking
songs.
long.
They're just not my favourites. To be honest
Too
with you.
long, man. If it goes over 5 minutes, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I've not got the attention span for it.
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of Bohemian Rhapsody, if I'm being honest with you.
That's quite long, isn't it? So
Fine,
maybe
under 6 minutes, but it's long
That's
enough.
different though.
Yeah, it's
telling a
it's
story.
It's like a mini opera, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
But yeah, it's like, I mean, listen, if they don't put it on it, then they don't put it on it. Go out and get 1981's greatest hits.
In conclusion,
Yeah,
they're one of the greatest bands of all time. Artistically brilliant. They've got loads of brilliant songs. They can fill, literally, as you said, Stephen, 3 greatest hits over.
Yeah.
So what? They've not put Fat Bottom Girls in. If it's the band's decision, fair play. If it's cancel culture rearing its ugly head again, go and get shat on, get in the bin. Because I'm sick and tired of it, man.
Shat.
People, fucking day. I'm watching Star Trek Strange New Worlds just now. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Yeah.
Kirk's not in it yet. He's in the second season.
Ah, right, okay.
Spock's in it though. And I do like Ethan. I think it's Ethan Peck. I think
You were
his name
talking
is.
about him, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm enjoying it a lot. Captain Pike. I'm going down a rabbit hole just now with the old Star Trek.
Why not?
I'm going back to my roots.
Yeah.
Don't know where that came from. The chat.
The shat, yeah.
I'm sick of cancel culture. It can just get in the fucking bin, really. Just let people. If you're not being hateful and being abrasive and damn right disrespectful and hurting other people's feelings, and there's a fine line with that as well. Because come on, sometimes you've got to grow a
Who are
backbone.
these people that are offended?
If you're not doing that, though, Steve, just let it be. Come on, just let people be. Just live
John.
your life and stop being perpetually fucking, I don't know, victims. Perpetually upset.
On that note, we're going to move on now. We're going to move on to our next topic, and it is back to movie news topic, John. It's despite its $25.4 million modest debut, Blue Beetle overtakes Barbie to secure the top spot at the domestic box office in the latest victory for the DC superhero saga. Now, that coming in obviously from Variety, which we're referencing here. And it's good news, John, for a film that's not had much promotion. In fact, I've not even seen the trailer for this. Have you seen the trailer?
No.
I've not seen it. I've not even looked it out on YouTube or anything like that. But that's a good start. I mean, it's not setting the heather alight in terms of box office numbers or anything like that.
I had to laugh. Dan Mural on YouTube says, I think he titled it DC's second flop of 2023. Flash may have flopped in terms of financial, but had a lot of baggage with Ezra Miller and what was going on. Blowback against James Gunn and whatnot in the reboot. It was always going to struggle to make its money back anyway, with continual shifting of production, of release dates, having to change the promotion. Just the amount of money that had been pumped into that movie in terms of production budget, promotional budget. It was never making a profit. It was an unbelievable uphill task. But by all accounts, I've not seen the movie, Steve. I'm going to watch it. You've seen it. Everyone I know who's seen the movie likes it.
The
So
Flash,
just because it's a flop in terms of financial,
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Doesn't mean it's a bad movie. You can say the Shawshank Redemption flopped. It didn't get any Oscar buzz, but it's now deemed one of the greatest movies of all time.
It was one of the most rented VHS tapes out.
Done nothing in the theatres though.
John, Blue Beetle though, is this part of? This isn't part of Gunn's.
No, this
plans,
is
isn't it?
no, this
It's
is a sort of what would they call it, Stephen?
A filler.
No, there's a word. No, this is a legacy release.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
It's part of the DCEU as it was before Gunn and Safran came in.
Yeah. John, I can't say. Is it Zolo?
Zolo Mariduena.
Maradona.
Zolo Mariduena. I know he's the first Hispanic sort of superhero.
100 million to produce and many millions more to promote.
100 million's quite a small budget for a superhero release. Is that? It says $100 million.
I'm just reading it there on the article.
Yeah, $100 million is reasonable. I don't think it's over the top. It's made $25 million opening weekend.
Yeah.
It's got an uphill task.
Yeah,
let's be
it
honest.
might break even, John. It might break even.
Probably needs to
Yeah.
gross 200 million just to break even. With Barbie
Yeah,
still
yeah,
in the
with promotion,
theatres, is there anything big coming out later in the year? I think June's floating about, isn't it?
June at the end of the year, November, I think.
Yeah. So
Sometime,
there is
yeah.
some big movies coming out. We've still got the Barbenheimer thing doing its thing.
Yeah.
I spoke about it last week, Stephen. Just movies struggling with box office,
Yeah.
theatres cutting their nose off with these ludicrous budgets. I don't think that's applicable to Beetle. 100 millions, I think that's reasonable, as I said.
Yeah,
Cost
John,
of living
I'll be honest.
is
I
going
mean, we used to do a box office segment every Monday.
got a
I
big
think it
release,
was,
man.
and I looked forward to those shows. I liked looking at obviously the facts and figures, how much it was to produce, how much it's made that week, and stuff like that, and just watching these movies move
There's
up
an
and down
art
the
to it,
top
Stephen.
10. John, you were very good at it from an analytical point of view when we did those shows.
I think I was just, to be fair,
Well,
I think I was just
after COVID,
plagiarising Forbes.
Yeah, I mean, after COVID, I just wasn't paying as much attention. But Barbie, John, I think Barbie's about to obviously overtake, isn't it, the Super Mario Brothers movie?
Yeah, I'm going to search
and
Barbie
it
up
should.
just now.
I think overall, I think it probably will be the biggest film of the year. I don't see many films. I don't know about June. June's coming out later in the year, so
I don't think June will do better than
No,
Barbie, Stephen.
no.
It might if it's amazing word of mouth. It depends. I don't see it.
I don't
This is
see it,
lightning in
John.
a bottle.
I
This
don't
is
see it,
like
yeah.
just pure promotional lightning in a bottle. The way they promoted it, the way that they
I think the message as well, and is obviously applicable to a
but
lot of the populace.
yeah, you're talking about the whole fucking woke chat. You've also got the same faces who like to attack things just because it's easy to attack. I'm not going to name who they are. They know who they are. But I've seen enough people who are not of pure left-wing extreme mindsets who've watched it and thought it's a good movie.
So that's 1.2 billion
Nearly 1.3
worldwide.
billion.
Worldwide,
crazy.
yeah, that's
Brilliant.
incredible. Yeah,
And the budget, I don't know what the budget was. It couldn't have been huge. Stephen, this is a movie and I keep speaking about it. I remember covering this when the first images dropped from the set and it was Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie skating down the
that's
beach
right. Yeah.
in the fluorescent suits. I'm like, this is either going to be an absolute joke car crash or it's going to be something
I
special.
remember. I don't know if it was yourself or it was your sister, but it was looking at Margot Robbie, looking at Ryan Gosling, going, "What are you two doing?
I think it was me.
What are you two doing?"
I think I was just looking at Margot and saying, yeah, it doesn't matter what she fucking wears. And it's the same with Ryan, to be fair. Ryan's got the charisma and an abundance. I was watching his Lad Bible snacks thing. The guy is just, he's got it, man.
When he was,
everyone in the palm of his hand.
When he was promoting Blade Runner with Harrison Ford, the two of them were so
they were brilliant,
funny.
weren't they?
Yeah, good
Yeah, there was
chemistry.
one, wasn't there, where I forget the woman. She's all British. She gave them a little mini whiskey bottle.
That's right.
It was just, she's great, by the way. I
Yeah, she
love
was
her.
laughing the whole
Yeah.
time. Yeah, and she
Yeah,
made
she's-
even Harrison laugh.
Yeah, which is rare. He's a class guy, Ryan.
Yeah.
So I'm glad for him. I'm glad for Margot as well. She's still hitting it out of the park.
John, will you go and see Blue Beetle? Is this one that would draw you to the cinema?
I don't know anything about it, Stephen. And as I say, the first I'd even heard of this was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I seen it in a billboard. I'm like, oh, that's that one, isn't it?
yeah.
That one, the Hispanic sort of superhero. I remember that. I
mean,
didn't even know it was happening.
It looks pretty good, to be honest with you.
I have to search up again. I'm going to search up the Rotten Tomato
Yeah,
and see how not the critics, I don't care about them,
yeah.
how the general audience are rating it. 92%, it's getting rated pretty fucking good.
Yeah, it's still good. It's still good on both counts, John, to be fair.
It might be good. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm tempted.
It's I mean, I've told you, I've watched 2 brilliant superhero movies in the last week. Guardians 3 and Spider-Man Across the Universe, and I really do regret not going to see them in the theatres. Both are now available, I think, Disney Plus. One's just digital rental for like the foreseeable till it was on Netflix. I regret not going to see those movies in the theatres, so this may be another one that I'll regret if I don't go and see it.
Yeah.
So maybe I will.
Yeah.
Because I really, really enjoyed Spider-Man. I watched it last night, really enjoyed it. What a film.
Yeah, still
Really,
see
it's
Oppenheimer
probably
as
the
well.
4th. Yeah, it's not, is
I
that
don't know
still,
what's going on
is
here.
that still on IMAX? Because I
probably not.
probably need to go and watch that before it comes out. Because I was just so fucking busy, Stephen. I'm so busy.
Yeah, I mean,
really
I
am.
think as well, John. There was for anyone that obviously hasn't followed us before, and you're just coming into this as a podcast for the first time or whatever. You may not realise that for a good 2 years we were doing watch-alongs, and I think that's knocked us off our kind of stride to get back in. we used to have obviously the Cine World passes. I can't mind what they're called.
Yes, the cinema pass, yeah.
Unlimited. Obviously, unlimited. And obviously, COVID happened, and we just kind of fell away. It's not that we're not moviegoers. We are moviegoers, but it is, John. It's about time now. It's about obviously.
You've got 2 young kids. Steve.
Yeah, I mean it's hard. It is. It's definitely hard. And,
I've got a dog.
It is hard though, because obviously work commitments coming into it as well, and it's very hard to obviously get some spare time. And the spare time we do use, we're doing this. So I mean, I'll probably will go and see it though, John, because you made a good point there. When I watched Guardians on Disney, and I thought, I went, oh, this looks so good as well. It's just a glorious looking film, that deserves to be showcased on a big screen, and I have not bothered my arse to go and see this.
Score was amazing
film.
again.
Yeah, the soundtrack.
As I say, in front of the camera, I was blubbing like a bitch.
I don't know if you did, John.
Yeah, I was crying at that film.
It was good, yeah.
When Rocket came back,
and
they were all hugging.
Yeah, even Nebula was emotional.
I was crying like a bitch.
Yeah.
Because he's such a brilliant... I was thinking about it today, Stephen, actually. Guardians, how really well wrote that was by James.
Yeah.
Just Rocket, embodying everything that a Guardian of the Galaxy is. They're all dysfunctional in their own lives, quite selfish.
A good trilogy.
Individual, but when they come together, they're the greater than the sum of the parts. They become really bonded and a wholesome group.
Yeah.
And him being front and centre of that film and bonding them all back together, including Gamora, I thought that was a great bit of writing.
I think maybe I'm maybe wrong, John, but is that the first time there's an F-bomb in a Marvel film?
Could be.
I can't think of many. I can't think of any,
could
actually.
Be,
but that was a good line. That was again, get in the fucking car. Would you just was it open the fucking door or something? I can't remember, but it was just so funny. It was just really funny the way he said
and again, Chris Pratt talking about him in the previous topic, Stephen. Nobody else could have played that character. What's wrong with people?
No, I know.
How can you hate Chris Pratt? What is wrong with society?
John, I always get Jack Black vibes off him. I think he's just
a brilliant guy. He's a fucking great guy. He's the most uncontroversial guy you'll ever meet in your life.
The chemistry between him and Drax obviously was good in this third film as well.
Drax was amazing.
When he said, we'll kill them. Or we'll kill one guy. I can't remember the line.
One that's sat on his own and no one cares about him. That was just getting sad or something like that. It was really good.
Yeah, fantastic. But I've not got much more to say, John. Obviously, we've not seen Blue Beetle, but it's very interesting to see. I didn't think Barbie would be knocked off the top spot in domestic box office, that is, for quite a while, maybe even a few more weeks, but there you are. It does happen. Obviously, it's had its run. Unless
$43 million globally for Blue Beetle. I mean, Stephen, it has to make 200. It's one weekend, 63 markets, $43 million.
Yeah,
it's probably going to struggle.
It's an uphill one, John, because of lack of promotion.
Yeah,
and it's not really exposed the sort of non-DC sort of committed fans into buying into this character
and
at all.
He's not exactly a marquee character, is he? He's not like a poster boy of DC. He's pretty obscure.
It's funny, John. See, if you told me if we weren't doing what we do, and we're always looking at the sort of entertainment news and what's coming out and stuff like that. If someone had said to me and I wasn't doing what we do, Blue Beetle's coming out, I would have thought it was one of these Transformer films. I'd have went,
fucking looks like that, to be fair.
I don't fancy a Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
It transforms into what? But
a Beetle. Volkswagen Beetle. And it's blue. Oh my God, his face is blue.
Yeah. Oh wow.
That's thanks
for that, Rebecca Rubin.
Rebecca Rubin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it stumbles.
Yeah.
There's a lot of movies stumbling.
Yeah, John,
a lot of movies stumble in the summer release.
I can't see it holding number one spot for much longer.
Barbie will be back.
Yeah,
just judging on the music in the charts just now.
Greta will do a James Cameron re-release it.
Yeah, Stephen, I know you don't listen to the charts.
No,
it's probably a good thing.
Yeah,
Dua Lipa, Barbie World. I think some fucking dance version. I think Billie Eilish.
All right, okay.
Let's get a Barbie. It's a song from Barbie. There's at least 3 songs from the Barbie movie in the top 10.
Wow.
So it's still doing really good
business.
business.
I've not heard any of them. So there you go.
Maybe a good thing. What's the Dua Lipa one?
I've never heard any of her songs.
Dua Lipa?
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish. You never heard of Bad Guy?
Never heard any of her songs. I'm so out. Listen, for anyone that's obviously in the podcast, I'm nearly 50, so I'm not going to listen to.
She's all right. She's one of these sort of sort of whispering singers.
Yeah.
Quite a whispery voice.
It's pish. Don't like that. Yeah. Anyway,
She's actually quite a sound.
I seen her on.
She's quite sound.
Saw her on Hot Ones.
Yeah, she's quite sound, to be fair.
Yeah,
Her brother's as cool as hell,
down to
man.
earth. Down to earth.
He's like a producer.
Salt of the earth is poor Billy. But anyway, John, we're going to move on to our final topic. And yeah, I mean, you can tell we're kind of struggling for news this week. It's been very... John, you know something? See, when I go to the websites for news and the sort of things that are headlining are fan art, that's when I know I'm fucked. So
I've had them many times. It's your man, isn't it? It does all the Marvel and DC fan art.
John, I love it all. I love all that, but I can't talk about it. It's not interesting to anybody other
How many
than...
times do we need to see John Krasinski playing fucking... What is he called? Reed Richards?
Yeah.
How many times?
Or the other one that you see most of the time is Henry Cavill as Captain Britain.
Yeah, no. I mean, actually, I'm a bit versed in that, you know that?
Yeah.
Anything's better than Hayley Atwell. I take that back.
She's good. She's good.
Take that back.
I like Hayley. John, Adam Sandler, one of our favourite comedic actors of the last 30 years. Fantastic guy. I love the guy.
As a guy, he's took a lot of shit over the years for some strange reason.
I think he's a bit marmite with a lot of people. Even at his height, John, when he was doing Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison and Big Daddy and Click and all that.
Click, yeah.
When he was doing all that, a Wedding Singer, he still had his critics. A lot of people thought he was overrated and stuff like that. I think you either get his humour or you don't get his humour. I loved his humour.
I've never laughed more
and I've seen
as a kid than when I was watching Happy Gilmore, The Waterboy.
Yeah.
That final scene when the guy's holding the sort of nipple ring and he's getting the sort of home run. That's like a bit like a Brian Lemon thing. And it's third and forward, the third quarter, home run and touchdown for Louisiana, Illinois. That's the type of thing that he do. He's getting the touchdown. Fucking hilarious. Just
how can we go back to the game after that? But anyway.
From New Orleans, Chicago.
You are so not invited to my bat mitzvah. That's the title of this. I think
bat mitzvah.
I think it's a coming of age. I think it's a coming of age type film, John. And you mentioned it earlier. It's his real life daughter, Sunny, who's obviously the protagonist in this film. John, before we get into the film, Adam Sandler and Netflix seem to have this great relationship. I've said digital download. He really worked wonders with it, actually, didn't he? With all the platforms during COVID. Uncut Gems. I can't remember what platform that came out.
That was on Netflix. I think
Netflix,
it was Safdie Brothers, wasn't it?
I didn't want to come up myself, John, and say that, but yeah, I
should have had an Oscar nomination for that.
Yeah, of course.
But then you could have made an argument for Eddie Murphy as well.
Well, exactly.
Dolomite is my name, so you can't give them to everybody.
Yeah,
but he was
outstanding. He's gone down that same sort of trajectory, both him and Eddie Murphy, in terms of big stars in their day, coming back on a smaller platform and succeeding. And there is Oscar buzz. There was Oscar buzz.
And by all accounts, there was a snobbery from the Academy at the time because they didn't have a back catalogue of sort of established drama work.
Yeah.
Because they came from this sort of goofy comedy background. Oh, they're not getting a nomination. They have to earn it. What the fuck is that? It's an artistic merit based on your performance.
That is snobbery.
It should be a singular performance it's based off.
John, in terms of Sandler's sort of career over the last 10, 15 years, though, how would you sum it up, though? How would you say it is in case... in terms of, obviously, the releases that it has had on Netflix, because there hasn't been many big cinema releases, is there? Apart from, obviously, the stuff that he's done with Jennifer Aniston and the sort of romantic stuff and all that.
He done a murder mystery. I'm going to say
they were Netflix ones as well, weren't they?
Yeah, that came out about the same time as Knives Out. It was actually a really good one. Different vibe to Knives Out, not as cerebral.
Yeah, he's done a few. Murder Mystery, obviously, he did go with it as well. Just go with it with Jennifer Aniston.
He's also got that animated one he does a voiceover. I think it's Hotel Transylvania. That's been a really successful
trilogy,
really successful franchise, that.
Yep.
I mean, that's a short, so I'm not going to count that, but he's done quite a few. I didn't realise there was a third or a second Murder Mystery. You watch that, quite enjoyed the first one.
Came out at the start of the year,
Didn't even know that. But Uncut Gems is the one you go to straight away, Steve, and it was such a brilliant film, really dark film, tragic figure that he played. Obviously the gambling problems he had. And the way it ends is just, it subverts the expectations, but you expect that from the Safdie Brothers. That's what they do, they deliver.
Yeah.
Off-piste, brilliant.
For me,
stories.
Adam's peak was obviously mid to late 90s, early 2000s, because every film that he released, in my opinion,
that, didn't you?
the Meyerowitz, I can't say that.
Meyerowitz
stories was fantastic, John. If you've not seen that, I highly recommend.
No, I remember you telling me about it.
I think I might have reviewed it as well back in the day, John. It's one of my early ones. Dustin Hoffman's in it, Emma Thompson. Great film. Sigourney Weaver, the list goes on.
Fucking
Adam Driver,
cast, Ben Stiller's in it.
Yeah, Ben Stiller and Adam Sandler in a film once more.
Yeah.
You're in my world now, Grandma.
I was watching Tropic Thunder the other day.
Tropic Thunder, yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. wouldn't get away with
that was my period.
That right now.
That was my period of Adam Sandler films. They were just one after the other. I think the first one I saw was Happy Gilmore came in from the pub, half cut. Kevin, my brother, was watching it. He was just in his early teens at the time, and I went, what's this? I thought he was watching golf. And you know how I feel about golf, John. And I was watching it, and I was like, what is this? And he was like, it's a film, Happy Gilmore. I was convinced Adam Sandler was one of the guys in the Beastie Boys, because he looks like one. I can't mind what one at the time, at that period in his life. But I hadn't seen Billy Madison at this point. And the other one that's so underrated was Bulletproof, with Damon Wayans. If you've not seen that, John, it's a fantastic.
I don't think I have, Stephen.
It's an amazing film. It really is. It's so underrated. I had the three of them on VHS. I got them for my Christmas one year, and just loved it. It might have been him. I think it was Ad Rock. Yeah. I just thought, is that him for the Beastie Boys? He just
similar
looked like
sort
him.
Of vibe, isn't it? He's from New York as well. He wears the sort of similar clothes.
Obviously not now. I mean, he looks totally different. He looks a bit like Martin Freeman now.
He's a fucking cool guy, by the way, Ad Rock.
Yeah. So
all of them are cool.
Yeah. So I mean, that was my experience with Adam. Then, I think perhaps maybe after that one he did, what was that called? The one Westchester Field Townville, Mr. Deeds. After that, it just kind of, I don't know, his comedies just weren't the same. He did, as I said,
Little Nicky's one out of Steam. I think that may have been the first one I seen,
Little Nicky.
Was it? I think I may have seen Happy Gilmore, but then Little Nicky, I think you and Tricia sent it round to me.
The DVD,
yeah. And I was fucking obsessed with it.
But he did all these ones with Rob Schneider, the hot chick. He did Anger Management was okay, and I thought it would have been a classic, but it was just in sort of moments. He did Click, as I said.
I think Click was probably the last proper
The Longest Yard
comedy.
He did a Rain Over Me, which was a good film, which was a drama one. But then he was doing the sort of ones with Chuck and Larry and Zohan and Funny People was not bad. Again, it was more drama sort of. But there was silly ones like Grown Ups and stuff like that.
I'm not having Grown Ups,
I'm not into that kind of thing. And I don't mind the cast that's in it. The cast is fantastic.
What they called the Frat Pack or something like that. It's like a take on the Brat Pack.
Yeah. Sandy Wexler, John, was one of the first Netflix ones I watched. And I thought it was okay. I think Adam was trying to get back to his roots with that, with some of his silly characters and those silly voices, etc. And it was an okay film, but it just wasn't up there with his early stuff. But I mean, I like the stuff he's done, like as you said, Murder Mystery.
I mean, he's dabbling with some drama stuff, Stephen, as well, which is good to see, because he's got the acting chops. He's a very humble guy. I seem to recall he done actor on actor. I think it's Variety or something that do that. Is it Variety? Something like that, anyway. And I'm trying to remember who it was he did it with.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt was just, he turned the whole thing into an interview for Adam Sandler. He basically was just putting it all on Adam, interviewing him, heaping praise on him.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really selfish of Brad to do that.
That was good.
Brad's brilliant, by the way. And more I see Brad, man, his interviews, he's just fucking
John, there was
great.
two people I hated in the late 90s. It was Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio, and I fucking love Leo. I always love Leo. I think it was a choice.
Titanic.
I think it was a choice of films at the time, John. They just didn't appeal to me.
And I liked Romeo and Juliet when I was a little guy as well.
But you could see past. You know what I'm like. I can be quite biased when it comes to personalities and stuff like that, and I can't see past the film or the franchise or the genre.
What was the
I'm always saying like fucking Jeff Goldblum there. I was like, the genre. Special.
A little bit of jazz piano.
But anyway,
get the chest hair out.
I don't know where that came from, but
that's another guy I love, incidentally, Jeff Goldblum. Man, that guy was my childhood.
Have you seen the impersonations on YouTube?
Yeah,
David Duchovny, he's amazing.
Fucking what a guy. He's so eccentric and out there. He's just a brilliant geezer.
Yeah, I mean, there is films in there, John, that should work. I mean, we mentioned the Anger Management, Jack Nicholson. I mean,
It's
the
been one
legend.
of the last movies he did.
And it was okay. And then you look at the likes of The Longest Yard, good cast again, but just not a great film. Click.
Was that the remake
I think it was, yeah.
of Mean Machine or something like that? Was it? Or am I thinking about a completely different
No, I
one?
think you're right. Is that
Yeah,
not?
it was like Mean Machine because it was the football, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was Vinnie Jones, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then maybe another.
Click had Christopher Walken in it, I'm pretty
Was
sure.
it Kevin Bacon?
And
Am I talking crap?
David Hasselhoff. Yeah, Christopher Walken.
Yeah, it was a Hass. It was a Hoff. He farted in his mouth.
That's right, he paused
I
him.
keep getting him mixed up with Kevin Bacon. How can you get them fucking Hoff mixed up?
Oh dear.
Oh Jesus, the Hoff.
Sean
He just
Astin's
looks.
in there, yeah.
Stephen, see when you look at the Hoff,
Yeah.
do you not just picture like your man, fucking Alec Caprano speaks Patrick
Capranos.
Swayze? It's like a fucking weird combination, isn't it? Just a weird combination.
Yeah.
Look at him, just he reeks of German. You can tell.
I don't mind the Hoff.
I like the Hoff as well. Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah,
He brought the Berlin Wall down, didn't he?
Yeah, but John,
With Muzak.
get back to obviously Sandler. Do you think you'll watch this film that's coming out? Do you think it's one that you'll appeal to yourself? You'll review and all that?
I don't know if I'll review it. I think those days are long gone, Stephen. I'm not a good enough writer. I've been replaced with AI, let's be honest. I could just put it into an AI algorithm and it'll do a far better job than me. Fucking dog down, man. He's snoring down there. I'm like, is he having a fit? But I may watch it, Stephen. I'm quite into these kind of movies. There was one that came out. When I broke my hand, I remember sitting down and watching it, and I really enjoyed it. God, what was it called, man?
Was it a Sandler film?
No, it wasn't a Sandler, but it was a similar vibe. It was like a coming of age thing. It was like they adopted 2 kids from this adoption centre, and it was just a similar kind of vibe going on. It was like a coming of age comedy kind of thing. So the point I'm making is I quite like these movies if they're done well.
Yeah,
they need to be done well. There was the other one as well. It was like the little boys, the group of friends that were swearing and shit like that. Yeah, it was like a drone, their father's drone smashed it up, and they had to go and go on this little adventure again, coming of age comedy.
Yeah.
So when it's done right, I actually do like the genre.
Yeah.
So it'll depend, but getting back to the sort of gist of it, Stephen, Rotten Tomatoes, I mean, it is 100%. They're not lying, but you have to add the caveat in that there's only 5 reviews. And your average one, I mean, if you go to a big release...
And they're all related to Adam Sandler.
If you
Family
go, I
members.
don't know, The Pope's Exorcist, for instance, which has been pillared, is that the right word? 97 reviews.
Yeah.
You maybe go to another big one, Elemental.
Yeah. Yeah.
249 reviews. So you see what I'm saying? There's usually a couple of hundred reviews before you can settle the score one way or the other. 5 reviews. It's very early days, if I can fucking speak, for this film in terms of its... Not that the Rotten Tomato scores get anything to do.
It's not out.
It's
limited just now, John. It's not out for another 4 days as we speak. This is the 21st of August. Bat Mitzvah, yeah.
Is it Bat?
Bar Mitzvah is the
for
proper.
Yeah.
But it does say or Bat Mitzvah, so there you
Is
are.
it maybe Bat is for girls?
It could be,
And Bar is for girls and boys?
I don't know. I always said bar.
Yeah, I thought
mitzvah.
it was Bar as well.
But there you are. You've learned something there. Yeah, it is. There you go.
Yeah.
Masculine. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is.
Femme, yeah. So there you
It's
go.
also his
I didn't
girl,
know
it's
that.
his girl, it's his daughter.
Yeah.
It's a girl.
So there we go. Yeah.
So
Yeah, if you get the point.
It's his girl.
Yeah.
It's his little girl's Bat Mitzvah. So there you go. We've learnt something new.
Yeah, there you are. Didn't know
Stephen, while we're on the subject sort of Jewish ceremonies, your man Zach Galifianakis, I do go down rabbit holes with the YouTube shorts. This is the final thing I'm going to say, incidentally.
Yeah.
Him and Paul Rudd, the outtakes, I was actually crying with laughter. I was crying with laughter.
What was this on?
It was on YouTube. It's from the Talking Between the Trees. I think it was a TV show. He was taking the piss. It was like a mockumentary.
Is this the chat show thing?
Thing where he just took continual pot shots at them. Even Brie Larson was laughing her head off.
Yeah.
She came across likeable, which is hard to do. But Paul Rudd just being Paul Rudd for like 5 minutes, absolutely turning it on him. What's your best advice for a young Jewish actor or actress coming up and hiding their Jewishness as well as you've done? And he couldn't even finish it. Is that Galifianakis? He actually started laughing. Paul Rudd was laughing. He told a joke. I was in fucking tears. I was in tears, man. So Yeah, I'm all for this, man. I hope it pays off for... I don't know where that came from. I just thought I'd go off. I was thinking about Bar Mitzvah and I was thinking about Paul Rudd, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to tell that story about my experience on YouTube 2 nights back. I hope it works, Stephen. I'm a huge fan of Adam. Love the guy. Think he's a brilliant actor, not just comedic actor. Framed my childhood. I want to see this guy moving off into a new era, because when you get to a certain age, you can't do comedy as well as you used to. It's like a good musician or songwriter. You mime from sort of societal ills and your experiences as a young angry man or woman, and that comes out in the music, and it's punky and it's electric. He's a product of that time in terms of that sort of road they went down. And you're right, and it's something that always sticks with me, and it was something that Pete Buck had said. Pete Buck from R.E.M. said that, I think the sort of late 90s, he said rock music and rock and roll is now becoming the jazz of its sort of genre, and it's very similar to obviously actors as well. You can't keep doing Billy Madison. No, you can't. You can't
when you're in your
sustain
60s,
because your life changed, your experiences changed. You're not a sort of up and coming figure with energy and sort of that vibe. You mature and become a different person as you get older, and at some point he's going to have to go into the more drama stuff, and we've seen he can do it. So I'm not saying this has got anything to do with it as a coming of age comedy, but he's playing a more serious parent figure, whereas 20 years ago he was playing a shit kicker getting back to school.
It also sounds like he's actually supporting. He's playing a supporting role in this, and obviously his real life daughter Sonny is, I think Stacey, is it her character's name is obviously at the forefront of this. So it's not like an out and out Adam Sandler film, although obviously it'll be his production. I can't remember what it's called. It's a Happy Madison production or something like that they call it. Yeah, it's the two films.
Tell you down below, actually, you know that? They usually tell you that.
Well, that's quite interesting. But I think...
Do they?
Not sure.
They don't.
Not sure, but...
No, they don't want to tell you.
He will have a big hand in, obviously, writing and stuff like that and the producing of it.
The Happy Madison Productions. Well done, Stephen. You're absolutely bang on the money.
Yeah.
Very well done indeed.
So
but yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done as well.
Done if. First it giveth, then it doneth away. That's my horrible take on a Queens of the Stone Age song. Stephen, nearly an hour. That's remarkable.
Not
3
bad,
topics. I'd never have thought there was an hour's worth of discussion in there, but we continue to excel ourselves time and time again.
Yeah.
Going to go right to it, and if I've remembered the headline.
Yeah, Queen.
Queen.
The Queen.
Fat Bottom Girls.
Yeah.
Oh. Don't know what that was. What's your thoughts on the topics we discussed on the show tonight? Fat Bottom Girl.
Is that Elvis?
Elvis was dead by the time this song came out, John.
Yeah.
What sort of... I've been watching too much multiversal fucking stuff.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you watch Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. You start looking for spiders in the room and thinking, fucking don't bite me. I'm quite happy in this universe. Thank you very much. But then you think of Everything Everywhere All at Once. Michelle Yeoh's character. That's her name, right? Yeoh? Yeah.
Yeah.
And she goes to different verses and she's like a fucking superstar. So maybe there is a version of me out there that's doing better than my current version. And maybe I do want to get bit with a spider and go and visit it.
Definitely a version out there. Our YouTube channel doesn't get strikes.
Yeah. And it'd be a better version.
Yeah.
But in order for that to happen though, Stephen, you'd require these like minuscule dickwad, as I'm going to use an American term, companies from Spain. You stop claiming fucking images from websites in a live stream and then saying that we're breaking copyright law, which we're clearly not. It's commentary.
Yeah.
It's fair use.
I'm more angry with YouTube.
Yeah, they're pricks. And I'll say that readily. What are you going to do? Strike your channel again? Come on then. Fuds. What's your thoughts on the topics? What do you think about Fat Bottom Girls being given the heave-ho treatment from their latest greatest hits album, Queen, that is? Is it wokeism gone mad? Should they, include it? Is it the right decision to get it out? Are you a fan of Fat Bottom Girls? Share your thoughts down below about that. If you've got anything to say at all down below in the comment section, is the place to put your thoughts. Thoughts on Blue Beetle stumbling in its opening weekend, apparently $25 million. That's not my words, but the words of Variety. They said it stumbled, not me. Don't come after me on social media. Share your thoughts down below about Blue Beetle. Have you seen it? Would you recommend going to see it in the theatre? What's your thoughts on its performance? Barbie as well. Finally, thoughts on Adam Sandler.
That's a
You're
man.
so not invited to my bat mitzvah coming of age comedy movie. Him, his daughter Sonny, in a movie on Netflix. What's your thoughts on Adam Sandler on the latest movie? Share your thoughts down below about that. Anything at all can go down below in the comment section. That is the place to share your thoughts. Like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon to get notifications straight to your eyeballs. Follow button. Sort of notifications button if it exists in Twitch as well.
And
to see the
Spotify.
exact. And Spotify as well. We're on Spotify now. Podcasts. Give us a little follow over there. Like the episode. It'd be much appreciated. Also, have to be said is thank you once again, Steve. You killed me. You're adding a third option onto an ending. It's already way too fucking long. It's already way too long. My voice is going.
Yeah. We'll need to get one of those people from Collider to do the outros.
Just get me and Siri from.
I can't remember her
The
name.
follow button over on Spotify.
Yeah.
And hit the like button. I can't do it now. I'm usually very good at it. I need to get into my full one. To get into it. Well done. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
If you like this video, please subscribe.
Cassian and